Shalom everybody, welcome to Bet David. Special welcome to those who've come here through the traffic, and welcome to everybody watching online. Our service tonight begins on page 118 with the candle lighting, and that will be done by Teresa Sobel.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Rachel. You take. And we will continue our service on page 130, but before we start reading, you might have looked at the Adkan and seen that we've got a little extra word. So it's Parasha V'etchanan and Shabbat Nachamu. The Shabbat following the fast of Tisha B'Av is called Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of consolation, referring to the opening words of the Haftarah, which is the weekly reading from the prophets. It's the first of 7 Haftarot noted for their theme of consolation. Having just emerged from the time of deepest mourning for the destruction of the holy temples, our despair is tempered by God's constant optimistic promise. While our people may be laid low at times by our enemies, we shall be redeemed by God, and our temple will be rebuilt. The Haftarah of Shabbat Nachamu begins with the words, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, Yomeh Elohechem. Be comforted, my people, will say your God. Isaiah lived and prophesied at the time when Israelite kingdoms were threatened by Assyrians. This was more than 100 years before the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the first temple. Through his prophecy, however, Isaiah was able to see that these great tragedies would be only temporary, and that God would bring back the Jews from exile and restore the temple. It's commonly understood that the double or the repetition of the word Nachamu, Nachamu is an allusion to the destruction of both the first and the second temples and the redemptions that would follow. And we will continue now on page 130. Lechu naranana l'Adonai, naria l'tzur yeshenu, nakadma fanav b'todah bizmirot naria lo. Come, let us sing joyously to God. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song, for the Eternal One is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. And I'm going to jump now to page 133 at the top. The Eternal One is sovereign. Let the earth exult, the many islands rejoice. Dense clouds are around God. Righteousness and justice are the base of God's throne. O you who love God, hate evil. God, guard the lives of your loyal ones, saving them from the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in the eternal and acclaim God's holy name. I'm going to skip now to page 134 at the top. Ha'ariu l'Adonai kol ha'aretz, Pitzchu v'rananu v'zameru.
Zamru l'Adonai v'tinor, v'tinor, v'tinor v'kol zimraha, v'chalzotzot v'kol shofar, shofar, hariu lifnei ha'melech Adonai. Zamru l'Adonai משפט הבל וצדק, ועמים ומישרים, ירם הים עומו, תבל ויוש והיבה, נהרות ימחאו חב, יחד הרים ירננו.
Page 135 at the top. Adonai malach yugzu amim, yeshev kruvim tanut haaretz. Adonai b'tzion gadol, v'ramhu al kol ha'amim. Yodu shimcha gadol v'nora, kadosh hu. Mighty ruler, who loves justice, it was you who established equity. You who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. And read together with me the last 3 lines on the page. Exalt the eternal our God, and bow toward God's holy hill, for the eternal our God is holy. Page 136. Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, hishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, kol Adonai b'koach, kol Adonai b'hadar, Kol Adonai shoveh arazim, v'yashaber Adonai et hazeh halvanon, v'yakidem kamo egel, levanon v'sirion kamo ven ra'emim. The voice of the Eternal One kindles flames of fire. The voice of God convulses the wilderness. The Eternal One convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of God causes hinds to carve and strips forests bare, while in God's temple all say, Glory. The Eternal One sat enthroned at the flood. The Eternal One sits enthroned, sovereign forever. Adonai oz le'amo yiten. May God grant strength to our people. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God grant our people peace. And we come now to Greet the Sabbath Bride on page 138.
Shabbat,
we've just greeted the Sabbath bride who came in the door. Maybe we didn't see her. Let's just take a few moments to greet each other. Okay, we will continue on page 141. If you'll take your seats, please. Adonai malach geot lavesh, lavesh Adonai oz hitazar, aftikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisecha ma'az, meolam ata. Nasuna rot Adonai, nasuna rot kolam, yesuna rot dochyam.
Mikolot ma'im, ma'im rabim, adirim, adirim, mishpereya. Mikolot
Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, O God, for all times. And please rise and return to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Barach, Viet Tabach, Viet Bar, Viet Romam, Viet Nase, Viet Adar, Viet Ale, Viet Allah, Shmede Kutsha, Bricho, Leila min kol birchata, Beshirata,
Tosh b'chata v'lechemata, Damiran be'alma.
V'yimeru. Amen.
Please be seated, and we'll continue at the top of page 148, and then I'm going to jump to the bottom of page 149 and ask you to read with me in English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma potech she'arim, uvitbuna mishane etim umachalif et hazmanim, umsadeh et hakochavim b'mishmorotehem barakir kirtzono. Page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokfeinu v'kumenu nasiach b'chokecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם ולילה יומם ולילה
ואהבתך אל תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We come now to the Shema, page 152. If you're able to, please rise. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol lavavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol mo'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher nechi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, u'vlechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shofpacha u'v'kumecha, u'kshatam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uktatam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Page 155. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your eternal God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Please be seated. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Page 160. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך. Page 161 at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת המקדשי שבי שבי כולם יספרו ויתענגו בטובך ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת
We come now to the central pillar of the service for this evening, which is the Amidah. You'll find that page 164. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia giteilatecha Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia giteilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'Elohei imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah
האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוז
Zeu Moshiach Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah.
Page 168. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Machayeh hakol ata rav lahoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh umorid hatal. Machalkel chayim b'chesed, Machayeh hakol barachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato l'shenei afar. Mi chamocha baal gevurot umedom elach, Melech memit umchayeh umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Machayeh hakol. Page 170. Ata kadosh, you are holy. V'shimcha kadosh, your name is holy. Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. And those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 172. Ata kidashte et yom hashvi'i lishmecha, tachlit ma'aseh shamayim va'aretz. וברחתו מכל הימים וקידשתו מכל הזמנים, וכן כתוב בתורתך.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רוצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך. סבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, ותהה ליבנו לעובדך באמת. In your gracious love, eternal our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat. Page 174. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael, utfilatam ba'ava tekabel, uti leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. El karov lechol korav, pnei el avadecha b'chonenu, shpoch rochacha aleinu, v'techazena einenu, b'shuvcha letzion barachamim. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shchinato letzion. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael, amcha tasim leolam. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. And please be seated. We'll take a few moments for our silent meditations. This week's parasha is taken from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 1 to 9. And it will be very recognizable to you as it contains the central affirmation of our faith, namely Deuteronomy 6:4, which states the principle of God's unity. Hear, O Israel, the eternal is our God, the eternal is one. However, the nuances of meaning of the 6 words of the Shema have in fact changed over time. The earliest understanding, at a time when the Israelites were surrounded by pagan civilizations, may have been along the lines of, Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, only Adonai. But as pagan gods faded away, the Shema took on a subtly different meaning, that while Adonai is our God, in time Adonai will come to be acknowledged by everyone as the one and only God. This absolute concept of unity is something dramatic and goes further than religion or philosophy. For in the modern world of science, God's unity is unlike any other unity in existence. Now think about it. In the early 19th century, scientists spoke of the atom as being the smallest constituent unit of ordinary matter, and they believed that it could not be cut down into smaller particles. But a century later, it was discovered that atoms, in fact, have protons, neutrons, and electrons. These can be further subdivided into quarks. And quarks themselves are not homogeneous because you get 6 types known as flavors. And I didn't make that up. You get flavors of quarks, namely up, down, bottom, top, strange, and charm quarks. And for every quark flavor, there's an anti-quark. So everything, it seems, is either divisible or exists alongside something else. In the Shema, however, we affirm that the Jewish God is utterly special and unique. There's no division and there's no counterpart. Moving on to chapter 6, verse 5, you shall love the Lord your God. The Maggid of Metzeritz expounded on this verse and asked, how can there be a commandment to love? Love is a feeling of the heart. One who has the feeling loves. What can a person do if, God forbid, love is not embedded in his heart? How can the Torah instruct you shall love as if it were a matter of choice? Rabbi Norman Lamb, in his book The Shema, cites Rabbi Shneur Zalman as saying, we are not commanded to impose upon ourselves an extraneous, extra-human sentiment. Rather, this love for God already exists in potential form within our soul. The mitzvah to love God demands that we remove all obstacles and impediments that interfere with our free and open expression of that love. In reality, of course, love is not exclusively a spontaneous phenomenon. We may fall in love without meaning to or trying to. But sustaining love, as anyone involved in an ongoing loving relationship can attest, requires continuous thought and effort. We can therefore understand the text as exhorting us to make that same effort in our relationship with God. Moving on to Deuteronomy 6, verse 9, you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Of course, we think of our mezuzot, which contain the words found in Deuteronomy 6, 4-9 and 11, 13-21. I'd like to share a lovely Talmudic story with you, but before I do, just remember that a mezuzah is not some sort of magical amulet that we stick on our doors. Rather, it's a reminder of our relationship with God. And here's the Talmudic story. When Onkelos, the son of Kalonimus, who was a nephew of the Roman Emperor Titus, converted to Judaism, the emperor sent a contingent of Roman soldiers after him, but he enticed them with words of Torah, and they did not arrest him. Thereupon, the emperor sent another Roman cohort after him, bidding them not to say anything to him. As they were about to take him away, he said to them, let me tell you just an ordinary thing. In a procession, the torchlighter carries the light in front of the torchbearer in front of the leader in front of the governor in front of the chief officer. But does the chief officer carry the light in front of the people that follow? No, they replied. Said he, yet the Holy One, blessed be he, does carry the light before Israel. For the Torah states, God went before them in a pillar of fire to give them light. Onkelos sent another cohort, ordering them not to enter into any conversation whatsoever with him. So they took hold of him, and as they were walking on, he saw the mezuzah which was fixed on the doorframe, and he placed his hand on it and said to them, now, what is this? And they replied, we don't know, you tell us. Said he, according to universal custom, the mortal king dwells within, and his servants keep guard on him without. But in the case of the Holy One, blessed be he, it is his people who dwell within, while he keeps guard on them from without. Shabbat Shalom. I think we come now, because it's the end of the month, we're going to have our birthday blessings. Can I ask anybody who's had a birthday this month if they'd like to come up and receive not only a blessing but a chocolate? You'll stand here, please. Stand over here, then I can. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our lives. On this Shabbat, we celebrate with those of our community who had their birthdays in the last month, and we ask you to bless them with health and happiness, friendship, and Mazal Tov. May we have the joy of coming together for many more years, united by your love for you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Od me'at v'esrim.
Service. Oh, Ellie. We're going to do Aleinu. Page 586, you'll find the Aleinu, and please rise. Here we go. If you'll open, there's a... There we go. Yeah.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהונו את השמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגודל מרומים. הוא אלוהינו עינות, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, קרקעתו בתורתו, בידתה יום נשב אותה אל לבביך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אלות.
We hope soon to behold the perfection of our world, guided by a sacred covenant drawn from human and divine meeting. Standing, and we'll turn to page 595, and the choir will sing Yesh Kochavim.
Yesh Kochavim sheoram magi arza, Rak Hashem em atzmam avdu שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המבליקים בחשכת הליל, שמרים לחטא את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמרים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, we remember, we remember, we remember.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season and years past, and those whom we've drawn into our hearts with our own. And this week we remember Henry Saul, remembered by Gail Saul, Alta Mayers, sister of Monty Diamond, Felix Marcus Wolfe, father of late David Wolfe, Morris Meyerson, father of Michelle Dagnan, Jack Bergman, father of Lola Groneman, Fred Loeb, father of Leslie Loeb, and Fred Smollen, father of Doug Smollen. From Bet Menorah in Pretoria, we remember Michael Turner, father of Pam Levitt, and Jack Karp, husband of Merle Karp. We also remember those who passed away recently. David Wolfe, founder member of Bet David, beloved person of the congregation and a stalwart of this congregation, deeply mourned by his family and all at Bet David. We also remember Jackie from London, friend of Sandy Paul, and Beverly Siegel, mother of Greg Siegel. If anybody has a name to call out that I haven't got on my list, please do so now. I'll start at this side. We also remember those who lost their lives in wars and those who have no one to remember them. And the Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'oma divrach ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam olomei umaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithada v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'miran b'oma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. Thank you to everyone who joined us for the service, and thank you especially to the choir and the musicians and our technical desk. Cheder classes resume tomorrow morning at 8:20. Rabbi Shimon invites congregants wanting to chat with him to contact him via WhatsApp, and for his contact number, please see this week's Adkan. Rabbi looks forward to hearing from you. Next Sunday, 6th of August at 8:45 a.m., we invite you all to a Tefillin service here at Bet David. The service will be led by Ian Mann. We urge all congregants to attend what we hope will become a monthly service. And for more details, again, contact the synagogue office. She's standing right there. We are going to have lectures on Jewish philosophy. You'll be able to read about it in the Adkan. And also, if anyone should like to sponsor a Shabbat service or a monthly brocha or birthday chocolates, again, please contact the office. And we thank you, Eli Hennig, for sponsoring the brocha in the foyer, and that's in celebration of your birthday. Conclude the service with the singing of Adon Olam, page 625. Thank you again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us at the back.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.